It's no secret. I first and foremost, I want to thank Jake and our current players for a job well done, taking on an unbelievable task in the face of adversity. It's an unbelievable lesson. So I want to thank Jake. I want to thank the support staff, thank the players for taking that on. I think I see Zed over there with his hat on the appropriate way. Look at him. He don't even know I'm talking about him. But they just did a marvelous job. So proud of them. Secondly, I do want to thank the former players. Ross is going to talk about that a little bit, but having them engaged along the way has been phenomenal. I want to thank the Foundation for their great support in the NIL space. They've just been phenomenal. So thank you, Brian and Ron and all the others for your great support. I have the opportunity to introduce Ross, who you all know and have met, but I want to compliment him on a job well done. This was a thorough search, done exceptionally well, a lot of due diligence and a lot of conversations. Just really proud of how he took his time and allowed the process to work. A lot of noise around searches, these type of searches, and there was a lot of noise, but a lot of experts, a lot of sources that were out there, but the only source was him. And so he kept it to the vest, and he just did a marvelous job in finding Jake coming home. So our athletic director, let me pause for a moment, say that the right way. Our athletic director, Ross Bork.
Greetings. I guess I'm supposed to say OH. All right, we got that down. So I'm learning. I've been on the ground 16 days. So I'm learning. I'm going to thank Gene here in a second. But I just want to thank everyone for being here today, from the band to our athletes to our staff, and everyone is here. This is a great day to be a Buckeye as we celebrate the naming of our new head coach, an Ohio native, Jake Diebler. So nothing like hitting the ground running as the incoming athletic director. Gene didn't afford me a luxury of having kind of a honeymoon phase, so I had no shot at that now that this search was underway. So I was on my sabbatical back in Texas, kind of just hanging out, kind of resting, relaxing. And Gene calls me about mid-February and says, "Okay, big boy, you're doing a search." So created the bunker back in my house in Texas and started watching a lot of college basketball and making sure that I was prepared. So it's all good. It's part of being in leadership. I think we have not quite hundreds of Diebler family members, but several. So we're glad that you are here. Jordan, this is real. This is happening. She was a little skeptical even about an hour into the conversation on Saturday. She wasn't quite sure. And the girls were representing Jake as his agent as well. They wanted to look at the papers that were in front of him. So I really want to pause here and give special thanks to Gene and really just for his support and advice during this search. So I'm the new guy around here. I don't know how procedures work. I don't know how you engage with HR and legal counsel and all of those kind of things. So he was really great in navigating all the things that have to happen from a procedural standpoint, but also to make sure that we were aligning with the culture and with the values of the university. So really his legacy experience just helped me be a guide through this process. So I want to thank Gene. Let's give Gene another round of applause. So I've learned so much over the last couple weeks. Like I said, I've been on the ground 16 days and, connecting with Ohio roots that we have in our family. In fact, I ran into a gentleman over here who went to high school with my uncle at Hardin Northern, Dick over there. So thank you for being here. And so the most important people are the players. So I know we have some players here, and I want to commend them for their toughness and really their togetherness through the last month or so. I know Zed's over here, maybe some other guys are here, but really want to commend them because we're only here because of our athletes, period. We have jobs because of student athletes, so I really want to commend them through an uncertain time over the last 5 weeks or so. We have a lot of staff, we have a lot of coaches, if our staff, our athletic staff and our coaches could just kind of wave and be acknowledged, and especially those who helped set this up, because we have a busy weekend here. We have a game tomorrow night at 7. We've got the NCAA tournament on the women's side. It's a busy week in the shot, so I want to thank the staff who really made today and the rest of this week possible. Former players. It looks like, Michael, I didn't have a big enough Rolodex when I was starting to call former players, but thank you guys for being here today. That means a lot and really signifies, again, what it means to be a Buckeye. I want to thank President Ted Carter, who, due to a previous scheduled travel, could not be here today, but he's fired up. He sees the wherewithal that Jake has. He's watched him up close and personal. He knows the importance of athletics. He knows the importance of getting this hire right. And so we want to thank him from afar today, but he shares in the excitement about the future under Coach Diebler's leadership. Our trustees, our board of trustees who have to approve everything, right, through the process, we want to thank them for their leadership. We had a very thorough and comprehensive search. Where's Dan Cloran? Dan, stand up. So Dan serves as our associate athletic director and sport administrator for men's basketball. I've known Dan for over 20 years. He and I formed a great team in this process. He was great. He was thorough. He understands what it means to be a Buckeye. So I want to commend Dan for your leadership. But Dan, now we have to get back to raising money. So let's get back after it. We also use the services of Collegiate Sports Associates. Todd Turner, the founder, Craig Littlepage, former athletic director and basketball coach, and then Drew Turner is the president and CEO of Collegiate Sports Associates. We use their expertise to make sure that we were doing our due diligence, to make sure that we were contacting the right candidates, to make sure that our intelligence was aligning with the right decision. We laid out a very specific profile about what we envisioned for Ohio State basketball. Passion, energy, create a program identity, a track record of player development, a recruiting machine, especially here in the Midwest, in the state of Ohio, strong leadership skills that can galvanize Buckeye Nation, someone who understands and also can capitalize in modern day college athletics. Born to coach, Jake Diebler fits each one of these characteristics and then some. But as the new person here in Columbus, I was doing this from afar. And so I needed to make sure that I could believe characteristics, I could believe profile, but I had to cross-check that and make sure that those who built the program, blood, sweat, and tears, also I was able to talk to. So that goes to the tradition. So I talked to at least 15 former players, and that was really a neat part of this aspect. And maybe as a new person, maybe I wouldn't have done that otherwise, right? Because there was a lot of other things to accomplish, and maybe I wouldn't have connected as much as I did with the former players that I spoke to. But I asked them questions. What does success look like? What does it mean to be the Ohio State coach? What do you expect in the program? And the feedback was consistent. They wanted leadership. They wanted a fit for Ohio State, and they wanted relatability among a lot of other things. But it was great to hear that they expect excellence. So thank you to those I talked to in the audience. It sounds like, again, I need to expand that Rolodex as well. But it really validated that Jake is the right guy for this job. So in closing, it may be easy to say that we just walked right down the hallway. It's an easy pick. He's down the hallway. We could just name him our head coach. But we pressed Jake on what it takes to build championships, what it takes to make changes as the leader in the program. We asked him about modern day athletics. And we have a program, what's really neat about this is we have a program that's ready to excel. We have a program that's ready to take flight. And with the right kind of adjustments, we know that we can cut down nets and raise those ladders that we all expect. So every time we checked the profile, the values of Ohio State, the beacon was Jake. It just kept pointing to that he's the right guy. And so this was really cool. When Dan and I went to the Diebler house on Saturday night, I'll try not to get emotional about this, to make the official offer, I asked Jordan and Jake, are you ready to be the first family of Ohio State basketball? Of course, they said yes. But this was what was really neat. The passion, the spiritual faith, the family, the vision, the energy, all of that was present in that moment on Saturday night. And so that's what it's really all about. This is a family, and that's what it means to be a Buckeye. And so in that moment, it really struck me that this is a calling for Jake Diebler, Ohio native, son of a coach. We might have to hire you as a consultant, or you can volunteer, right? He had to work for everything that he's achieved. Hard work defines Jake Diebler. He played the game at a high level. His brother played here. So really, Saturday night in the living room there in the kitchen, it just made all of this feel right, and I'm so confident in the future of Buckeye basketball. So it's time to bring out those ladders. It's time to bring out those scissors. And so please welcome your new head coach of Ohio State basketball, Jake Diebler.
Wow. It's growing up, you have dreams, and you never fully get to predict if or when those dreams will come true. And so I just want to praise God for being able to live out a dream of mine. This is a dream, and it wouldn't be possible without my wife, Jordan, my beautiful babies, James, Jessa, and Jackson. It wouldn't be possible without my family, my mom and dad, my brothers, best friends, cousins, like my wife's family. We have such family, so important to us. It's been ingrained in me from the time that I could start walking, when I was interrupting my dad's practices. And that family has expanded beyond just our family. It's the basketball family that we've been a part of, guys that my dad coached before I was even born, guys that I played with, whether it was in middle school or high school or college. My best friend and college teammate is here. So you're going to hear me talk about over and over again family. And part of our family is Ross Bjork. Thank you. Thank you. Part of our family is President Carter. Thank you, President Carter. And thank you, Gene Smith, for choosing me to fill in and empowering me to be myself and the mentor that you've been to me. Thank you. And thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Dan Cloran, for the mentor that you've been. This is all part of our family. Thank you, Team 125. Thank you to our guys for how they believed and they stayed connected, how they led through the adversity that we went through. Thank you to our staff of Team 125, our managers, the people around the shot who we come in contact with every single day. There's so many thank yous, and I know I'm missing people, but I know I wouldn't be here if, as Ross said, I wasn't called to be here, and if it were not for those people. So I owe so many thank yous. And now I want to turn my attention to this group right here. I'm humbled to be in this position. I take so seriously the foundation that you guys have laid for this program, that which we stand upon, and hopefully we will honor in the greatest way to help get this thing to the heights that it belongs. So if we can we please give the former players that are here a round of applause? If you guys will stand up, please stand up. Thank you. This program has a rich tradition, and it's because of these guys and the guys before them. And when we talk about family in this program, it expands beyond the current roster, the current staff. It expands beyond guys who maybe played recently. It's all the way back to the beginning. And the amount of support that we got the last month from our former players, guys stopping into practice, spending time with our guys, speaking about what it means to wear an Ohio State jersey. I will forever be grateful for those moments. Thank you for the support. This is just the beginning of us building and growing that relationship, because this is your program. We are stewards of this. We want to serve this program. My family and I, our staff, will serve this program with everything we have. And you guys are a real source of motivation for that, so thank you. It became clear from the very beginning when Ross talked about his expectations for this program that we were in alignment. We have great expectations for this. We are going to commit and make decisions through the lens of what helps Ohio State basketball win a championship and cut down those nets that he talked about. We are going to serve our roster, our players, our staff, this program with all the energy and passion that we could possibly do it. Family is a multi-dimensional thing. What each member does affects the other. We've talked about how big that family is. We are all going to be committed. We're going to surround ourselves with people who are committed to moving in the same direction and caring and loving on everybody who is a part of that. Ohio State is a special place. It's talked about how that is my dream job, but it's so special. This university, I've seen firsthand what it can do for those who are connected to it. I wasn't good enough to play here, but I got to see the impact it had on my brother and my family, him being here, how Buckeye Nation has supported him, the care, the love. It's something I've always appreciated and valued. There's also one of the best things about Ohio State is the elite level people in this department, across this campus. Ohio State is the best of the best, and we are going to do everything we can to push this basketball program to align with that. With that being said, thank you again. You're the best. Wouldn't be here without you. And this may be the first time I'm actually in the same place as Brutus, where my kids may put me number one over him. So thank you guys. I love you. It's an honor to serve you in this role. I'm so excited about the future. Thank you for everyone being here. Thank you for the support.